This is the Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show. It's a show full of informative chat and inspirational messages. The Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show on podcast.
My name is Jaime Olbertz, and I have a grade 2 astrocytoma, IDH mutated. I found out about my tumor on accident. So I had a traumatic brain injury from anaphylactic allergic reaction in 2009. It was a reaction to a peanut butter cookie. So at that point, I lost oxygen to my brain. I had my brain injury. And then I was on follow-up monitoring for months after that, had to relearn how to walk, talk, function all over again. God willing, I was able to do that. Just went in for repeat scans after that. They just told me that I was in the clear, that I didn't need to follow up with them anymore. But as a result of my brain injury, I have mild tremors in my arms and legs. So my balance has always been off, since 2009. So I noticed after my husband and I had our third baby that I was very tremory to the point where it was hard for me to walk from the couch to our bedroom. It was hard for me to walk down to the car. I just felt off. And I said something to my OB about it. And he was like, Jamie, I think maybe you should just go back in, see a neurologist, get checked back up from everything that happened years ago. So I did go in. They did a CT scan, a MRI, and EEG to monitor my brain activity. So the neurologist called me and she said, I just wanted to let you know, you do have that tiny little mass in the front of your brain right there, but it looks like it was on all your old scans, so we don't need to worry about it. And my heart dropped and I was like, what do you mean? There's something in my brain. That's not what? So nobody ever told me that before when I was going through all my brain injury stuff. So she said, well, I want to refer you to go see a neurosurgeon, see what they think about it, if they're comfortable doing the watch and wait, or if they want you to do something about this mass. Because it hadn't grown very much since the early 2000s. So they're like, it could be nothing, but it could be something. So I did end up going to see the neurosurgeon here, and she was comfortable with me watching and waiting for almost a year. I went in for scans every 3 months. She's like, it's growing a little bit, but it's not a lot. I don't really know if it's actual tumor activity. Let's just wait. So we did end up waiting until 2023. And then I did a biopsy on my tumor, and the biopsy came back that it was a grade 2 astrocytoma. So at that point, they basically just said, we can do surgery, we can do chemo, we can do radiation. Because it's a low grade, you have a lot of different options. And the one thing that I would recommend to anybody in any type of medical situation is to stand up for yourself, get second opinions, get third opinions. There is a reason why there are people that specialize in this type of tumor and this type of cancer. Make sure that you're doing your research and seeing new providers. And that's exactly what my husband and I did. And I went to a couple of different places and asked them what their opinions were on this tumor, what I should do with it. And ultimately, we did decide to go ahead with surgery. So here in Nebraska, you have the option to do a laser ablation, which is just it's a laser that they stick into your tumor to zap it to make it disappear pretty much. So they were able to get about 85% of my tumor when they did that procedure, which was great. And then I went on a watch and wait from there. So I didn't do any immediate chemo or radiation or anything to treat it after that. We did watch and wait for a year after that to see if my tumor would grow at all. And if it did, then we would go down the route of other medication, chemo, radiation. So my tumor did end up growing a little bit about a year ago. So because I did the biopsy and I found out what the genetic makeup of my tumor is, I was eligible for a medication that is here that they started prescribing for people with IDH mutated tumors and low-grade tumors. So because mine's a grade 2 astrocytoma and it's IDH mutated, I was able to take this medication. So I have been on the Vorasidenib is the name of the medication. I've been on that for almost a year now. And my tumor is actually showing shrinking on my scans, which is amazing. That was not anything that they told me would happen. And I am still on every 4-month scans. So my oncologist is happy with me going to maybe every 6 months if the tumor continues to shrink after a full calendar year being on the meds. So with the Vorasidenib drug, I will say I am thankful that I'm a candidate to take the med. I haven't had the terrible reactions or the feelings of like overwhelmingly tired on the medication. I will say when you start anything or put anything new in your body, you're going to have some sort of reaction to it, whether it be good, bad. I was very nauseous for a while when I first started on the medication, but now I don't have any of that now. And I'm able to kind of power through my tiredness. So you do have to listen to your body. So when you're tired, when you're not feeling well, you need to listen to your body and you need to rest. But I would say that this medication in general has been a godsend. I'm so thankful for the people that did these clinical trials and made it so that, it is an option for people with low-grade tumors now to take this med and feel so much better. I have worked so hard on focusing on my day-to-day life. It's like something could change tomorrow, like you are never promised anything, no matter if you have a brain tumor or not. So, it's just given me like a beautiful perspective on life to know that I just need to be present in my day-to-day life and with my kids and husband and they all know Felicia is her name, about the sixth member of our family. They all know when I have scans. And we've been very, very open with them because I think that that's the healthiest choice. I know that like a lot of people don't because it's heavy, it's hard. But we have been very open with them about my prognosis and how I feel, and if I need to go to bed earlier, or if I need to sleep in, or if my body hurts or my head hurts, like they understand why. So, I think we've just always been so open with all of them, and they do know when I have appointments and what happens, and they know that I'm on this medication now. And I just feel like the more open we can be with them, the better. That's just what we've always told them. And they're my biggest support system too. And also, I work for a clinic here in town. We do OT, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy. So I gravitated towards this job because after my traumatic brain injury, I had to do a bunch of therapy and relearn how to function again as a 19-year-old. So I've always like loved that realm of that profession. So I've always loved that. So I've been at this current company for 10 years and they're my other family. So I am still working full time, and I tell people all the time like I'm, still functioning as a full-time mom and full-time. I'm working full-time. Like I think the busier I can keep myself, the better. So I don't have time to I don't want to say feel sorry for myself, but I don't have time to like think about what's happening in my brain all day because the reality of it is it's great. She's shrinking. So that's what we want, right? But like also trying to like shift your mindset that like you need to do things that make you happy. Book the trip, get the tattoo, do all the stuff you want to do because you never know. That is one of the things that I love about what I do because we do have little kids that come to our clinic that have had a TBI that, had to have brain surgery for a shunt or like whatever it might be. And I do relate to them like on a whole different level because I've been there. I've had brain surgery twice now. So, and I had the TBI. Like there's a certain level of like relatability on that level that a lot of people don't have because they don't have like that personal experience. So I am like really glad that I am able to relate to all of them in that way because I know what it's like. So know that just putting in the hard work makes everything worth it. Like if you work really hard at getting better, you can get better. So, and therapy is an amazing tool. I love OTPT and speech because I've seen in myself how it's made me a stronger person, and also like being able to relate to these kids too. Like they can do it. Like they can live a full functional adult life. Like it's possible. So I just hope like a glimmer of something would give somebody else like, oh yeah, I remember her talking about that. Maybe I should ask my doctor about that. You definitely have to stand up for yourself. And if you're not able to, finding somebody who can stand in your corner and ask all the right questions and make sure you're doing all the right things and all the research. And there's just like so much out there. And the more you can read about and the more you can know, I think definitely the better for sure. I just really do want to say thank you to my amazing support system, my husband, my kids, everybody in my corner means more to me than they will ever know. So, I will say, if you ever have to go to the hospital, you have to have a procedure, you have to do chemo, you have to do radiation, bring something that brings you comfort. So for me, it was like my own shampoo and my favorite podcast that I downloaded that I wanted to listen to while I was sitting there. So make sure that you take care of yourself and you bring things that bring you joy, because it is about you and your journey, and the more joy you can bring to a crappy situation, the better.
This is the Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show. It's a show full of informative chat and inspirational messages. The Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show on podcast.